Welcome back to Mr. Magazine, the place where stories of strength, emotion, and celebrity life come alive in all their intensity. Today, we bring you an extraordinary chapter from the life of one of Turkey's most beloved actresses, Sıla Türkoğlu. What was meant to be the happiest day of her life turned into a deeply emotional test of courage and motherhood. Her last-minute decision in the delivery room has left fans stunned, the media buzzing, and the internet in tears. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Mr. Magazine, hit the join button to support our growing community, and tap that like if you believe every woman deserves to write her own story, on her own terms. Now, let's dive into this unforgettable moment that captured the nation's heart. It was a calm evening in Istanbul when Sıla Türkoğlu checked into one of the city's most prestigious private hospitals. Everything seemed perfect. The soft beige walls of her hospital suite, the fresh flowers delivered by friends, the well wishes from fans flooding social media under the hashtag #WelcomeEverByTürkoğlu, it all painted the image of a serene, joyful anticipation. For months, Sıla had openly shared her dream of having a natural birth. "I want to experience the miracle of life with full awareness and strength," she told her followers during a live broadcast weeks before her due date. But as many mothers know, life has its own plans, and sometimes, even the strongest hearts must surrender to what is right, not what was planned. The early hours of that morning began with optimism. Yet as contractions grew stronger, something felt off. The labor that was supposed to flow naturally turned into a battle of exhaustion, pain, and emotional turmoil. Doctors noticed her blood pressure shifting, her heartbeat racing, and her strength slowly fading. Hours went by. The room that once echoed with laughter and excitement began to fill with anxious silence. Nurses whispered. Machines beeped softly. And in that charged atmosphere, one of Turkey's brightest stars found herself at a crossroads between her dream and her instinct. According to a close source from the hospital, Sıla had been holding back tears for hours. She had meditated, breathed deeply, even listened to soothing music, trying to stay in control. But her body had reached its limit. She suddenly broke down, the source revealed. It wasn't just physical pain, it was emotional overload. She had prepared for this day for so long, imagined every detail. When she realized things weren't going as expected, you could see the fear and sadness in her eyes. In that moment of overwhelming vulnerability, Sıla, the woman millions saw as a symbol of calm elegance, whispered a few words that would soon echo across the internet. "I prefer my baby to hear my calm voice when she arrives, not my screams. I want her first moment to be peace, not fear." And with that, she asked for an emergency C-section. Her medical team hesitated for just a second. They knew how determined she had been to have a natural birth. But seeing her trembling hands, her pale face, and the tears falling down her cheeks, they understood that this was not surrender. This was bravery in its purest form. Within minutes, the procedure began. The sterile lights of the operating room reflected on her tear-streaked face. Outside, her loved ones waited in silence. When the cry of a newborn finally filled the air, witnesses say the entire room exhaled in relief. Her baby, healthy, perfect, and full of life, was gently placed in her arms. Sıla smiled, exhausted but radiant, whispering the child's name softly as if afraid to break the sacred stillness of that moment. She looked like she had just survived a storm, one nurse said. You could see both pain and peace in her eyes. Her words before the operation soon became a symbol of maternal courage. Fans across social media repeated her statement, turning it into a mantra for thousands of women who had once faced similar decisions. The news exploded like wildfire. Some celebrated her as an example of emotional intelligence, a woman brave enough to prioritize safety and serenity over societal ideals. Others criticized her, arguing that she had given up too easily. But those who know Sıla best dismissed those voices. She didn't act out of fear, a close friend said. She acted out of love. For days, headlines debated her choice. Morning talk shows discussed it. Psychologists, journalists, and influencers weighed in. One editorial perfectly summarized the moment. True empowerment is not in the method, it's in the freedom to choose. Meanwhile, celebrities rallied behind her. Hand Ursel, one of her closest friends, posted on Instagram, "Love also means making difficult choices. I admire you." The message went viral. Women from all over the country began sharing their own birth stories, breaking the taboo around cesarean births. Hashtags like #StrengthInChoice and #SlayInspires trended for days. One detail that moved the public even more was the presence of Halil Ibrahim Sayan, rumored to be by her side throughout the ordeal. Eyewitnesses said he didn't leave her room for a second. When the doctor said everything was fine, you could see him burst into tears, said one hospital staff member. It wasn't just joy, it was deep relief. Their bond, already admired by fans, seemed to take on a new dimension that day, one built on genuine care, quiet support, and shared vulnerability. Days later, when she finally reappeared on social media, Sıla shared a black and white photo of her holding her baby's tiny hand. The caption read, "I dreamed of a perfect birth. But life reminded me that perfection doesn't exist. What matters is health, love, and the courage to listen to my baby and to myself." Within hours, the post became one of the most shared in Turkish entertainment history. Millions of women commented, thanking her for her honesty. "You made us feel seen," one wrote. "Thank you for reminding us that every birth story is valid." As she recovered quietly, the actress's life took on a new glow. Her baby, whose name she still keeps private, became a symbol of renewal, a reminder that even in moments of fear, beauty can be born. "She smiles differently now," said one of her friends. "It's as if she's made peace with herself." Doctors later confirmed that both mother and child were doing perfectly fine. After 3 days in the hospital, Sıla returned home, surrounded by flowers, family, and love. What about you, dear viewers? Do you think Sıla Türkoğlu made the right choice? Should women always follow their original plans, or is true strength found in adapting to life's unpredictable turns? Let us know your thoughts below. Your voice matters, and your stories might inspire others who are walking the same emotional path. And remember, this is what Mr. Magazine is all about, telling the stories that touch hearts, spark conversations, and remind us that celebrities, too, are human. If this story moved you, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Mr. Magazine, and tap join if you'd like to support our team as we continue to bring you heartfelt stories from the world of fame and beyond. Because every week, right here on Mr. Magazine, we explore the truth behind the headlines, not just what happened, but how it felt. Sıla Türkoğlu's decision was more than a medical choice, it was a declaration of self-love, strength, and freedom. And maybe, just maybe, her story will remind all of us that courage doesn't always roar, sometimes, it whispers, "I choose peace."